All right, so what we're working on today is determining how to go from a percent to a decimal. And the first thing we have to do is we first have to understand what a percent is. Well, a percent is just a fraction. It's a fractional part of 100, or of the whole. And 100% is usually the whole, okay? When working with percents and decimals, I'd like you to think about cents. Because really, percent and cents, it has the same word and it's written the same. So some examples I have is if I have something that says 18%, if I think about that, 18% is 18 cents. And you guys are good at talking about money and writing money. 18 cents is just 0.18. And so to go from percent to decimal, just think about how much cents it is. How many pennies do you have? How do you write that as money? All right, if I have 9%, that's the same as saying I have 9 cents. Well, 9 cents is 0.09 because I only have 9 pennies. Well, sometimes I have more than 100. So let's say I have 153%. Well, 153% is $1.53, but it's also 153 pennies. Oops. And so 153 pennies is written as $1.53. So whenever you have a whole part, a whole 100 or more, that's the whole number in front of the decimal. All right, let's look at a couple more. If I have 300%, now we're going to work backwards. So 300% is the same as 300 cents, and 300 cents is just $3. So now let's say if I have 60 cents, 60% is just 60 cents, which is written as 0.60. Now sometimes it's going to be tricky because you're going to have 12.5%. Well, I'm just going to focus on the main part, my 12%. 12% is written as 12 cents. So that's 0.12. The issue is this 5. So all you do is you bring it over, and so it's 0.125. So it's 12% with the 5 there, with half the percent. Same idea for the next one. 5.63%. Well, I'm looking at the whole percent that I have, and the whole percent I have is 5%. So that's what I worry about. 5% is 5 cents. So 0.05. And then the 63 just comes over after it. Some people teach it by moving decimals. I found that when people think about which way to move the decimal, it gets confusing, but people very rarely get confused with cents. Okay, so what I'd like you to do now is try and write those as a percent. And so we have a decimal, and so now we're going to be going the other way, where we're going to be writing it as a decimal. So 0.34 is 34 cents. Oh, come on. So it is 34%. 125 is 125 cents, so it's 125%. This one here, this is a little tricky. This is 5 cents. The 3 is just extra, so I'll deal with that later. So it's 5%, and the way I deal with it is I just put the 0.3 after it. It's not 53 cents, it's 5 cents, and then I have a third of it left. All right, number 4. So here, this is 234. So that's 234%, but I can't leave off the 7, so I just make it at the end. Same thing here. This is 4.32, so it's 432 cents, but I can't leave off the 14, so I add it at the end. Last one, number 6, is 0.4. Well, money doesn't look like that. Money always has another 0. And so now you can see that that is 40%. All right, let's look at the last ones. The last ones we're doing what we did originally, where we go from percent to decimal. So 24% is 24 cents. So what I'd like you to do is try these and then press play when you think you have them. All right, so hopefully you tried them. 7% is 7 cents. 30% is 30 cents. 142% is 142 pennies, so it's $1.42. This one's tricky. I have 2 whole percent, so that's 2 cents. And then remember, I just bring over the last number because I'm only worried about the cents. Same thing here. This is 10 cents, so I bring my 10 over, and then I bring over the 3. Now on problems up above, I added a decimal right here, but here I'm not going to add a decimal because there's already a decimal there. You only add a decimal at the end if you don't see one when you have to carry something over. All right, so when you go from percent to decimal, remember to think of cents and do the same thing when you're going the other way around.